Going live at this time of day. I might end up being the only one here. Hey, it's a laid back day. I'm laid back. Yep. Supposed to rain tomorrow too. Still damp out. Don't don't really expect much to happen today. Haven't even started a video today. Much to happen today. I'm gonna sit around here and see who comes on. If anybody, everybody might be out somewhere running around or pulling peppers out of their. Oh, speaking of peppers, hmm, my monster jalapeno peppers. Melinda, well, hello. Hope you're feeling fine. Hope that cough's getting better. I've got some blooms on my jalapeno peppers. Pretty soon I'll be going. I'll be telling Peggy, look at these, look at these. I didn't know if anybody would even be home this time of day. Figured they'd either be out in the yard or down the road or who knows. But I just personally, it rained yesterday some, and the other day it rained some. It's supposed to rain tomorrow. Uh, Good chance of rain tomorrow. Last time I looked, it was 55%. Yeah, staying. That's what I'm doing. It's too damp out there to do anything. The ground's too damp, too wet. And I've just been. I went and made my trip to my Dollar General. Got that behind me. Uh, and I just laying back. Just come home, sit down, and said this is it. And instead of sitting here and going to sleep, and being half awake and half asleep, think the TV's talking to me. I thought, well, let me see if anybody is out there. There's always somebody out there. And Christina, I don't know what she's doing today. She did type. I typed to her and told her she had 102 people following her now. She typed me a Yahoo. No, I drove by the fruit stand uh, on the way to the dollar store, and looked like everybody was working. Uh, so I just said, "Oh, keep on going. Don't want to disturb them." Wouldn't want to interfere with somebody working. Well, let's just put it this way. Scott had his grandkids out back uh, transplanting and peppers and tomato plants and stuff like that. Our Saturday help was watering and running the store, and there was no sign of Peter anywhere. Well, I figured they They're playing in the gardens. I've taken the whole weekend off. Oh, there's Peggy, speaking of working in the garden. Hey, Peggy. We Melinda just asked a question where everybody else is. I'm just laid back today. I ain't doing nothing. Nothing. Oh, well, they're transplanting tomato plants. Uh, you pour a whole bunch of seeds in a whole bunch of dirt and get them to come up a little bit, and then you transplant them individually, pull them up out of that soil, uh, and peppers and stuff like that. We ain't planted nothing in the garden yet except for tomatoes. Too muddy, too wet, and they're in the high tunnel. So, and it's supposed to 55% chance. Let me look see if it's changed. But 55% chance of rain tomorrow. Yeah, still 55% chance. And it looks like it's going to start raining. Well, 35% at 9 o'clock in the morning and 10 o'clock in the morning. Oh, start raining in the morning sometime. Yeah. Well, we've had our share of rain. Actually, when it does dry up enough to put everything in the ground, then it won't rain. It'll just quit raining. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, it's 11 o'clock Neil's time, so Neil will probably be asleep. I figure out when his sleeping pattern is. Oh boy. You got it coming at me in all directions. But that's okay. If it wants to do all the raining now and don't want to rain once we plant, we'll just turn the pump on and pump the water from the creek. Grouse Family Farm. Hello, hello. Yep. Oh, Peggy, I drove by there and I saw everybody was working, so I didn't want to bother them. So I just kept going. It might not be Kevin this time of day. He's a night owl. It might be the other Kate. I gotta get some WD-40. This chair's starting to squeak. It's yeah, it's just too muddy to do anything outside. So I'm just what I just what I named it. Laid back Saturday. No, I haven't watched it yet today. Something about something. That's with the animals or something, but I hadn't watched it yet. I went to the dollar store, came home, and they posted. Uh Now, do you see that? It's me. Me. Or say hi. It could still be either one of them, right? I mean, everybody was at the fruit stand working except for Petra. She wasn't up there. She's probably gone doggy shopping. And that's okay. Saturday's supposed to be her day off, in spite of the fact that she was off 7 weeks. We went to when we went to the auction yesterday. We saw the picture. He went to sleep, paws hanging off the seat and everything. I like, okay. I'm assuming it's K1, but I'm just assuming. I don't know for sure. Little dog, a little puppy hadn't got he hadn't got his personality, I'd say, yet. You know what I mean? He's just sleeps and plays with a toy and goes back to bed and eats. But the cat is not happy. The house cat's not happy at all. They have massive stare downs at each other. That's probably what she's out buying for him right now, buying him more toys. I wouldn't doubt it at all. Yeah, we assumed, but at the same time, we got the answer was it's me. It's been a very slow day. I said, let me go see if anybody's on here at all. If I don't, I'm going to go to sleep. And I'll wait 5 minutes. If nobody don't come on in 5 minutes, I'll go to sleep. I'd have fell asleep and left it on. And then y'all would come up. People would start coming on here, and I've been. that Yeah. Does anybody know something about? Uh, I still hadn't asked Scott about that. Scott Scott named this dog as soon as he saw it. He said his name's Dan. So okay, well call him Dan. uh, but it has something to do with a movie or a TV show. Dan and something. I can't remember. I wasn't listening too good. I'll tell you what. I'm going to try to find out. I'm going to look through my phone and I'm going to ask it how to cut off spell check. It was giving me a fit yesterday. Uh, what bothers me more than anything is not the fact that it changes the spelling, but when it changes the word. I mean, I'll be looking directly at it and I'll see exactly what I typed and I'm totally happy with what I'm looking at. And I hit the button, and when it comes up on that screen, a word has been changed. And I'm like, give me a break here. I don't know what it came from. But it was two animals I know. One of them was Dan, and I think it was two animals anyway. Uh, I wasn't paying attention when they were talking about it. Uh, Peter was telling somebody why it had something to do with a movie or something. So I said, well, now I've got to ask because now I don't remember what I wasn't listening close enough. It's not that I don't remember. I wasn't listening close enough to know what you were saying. Dan and somebody, she said, you know, what she told somebody, Dan and somebody or something, another name, on TV or something. So I don't know. That's bugging me. Now it's bugging me. Let's call him and find out. Hey, I'm doing a live here on YouTube. And where did Dan? What you wanted to? Peter was telling somebody why you named Dan Dan.
Well,
Had something to do with the TV show.
well, the TV, it was a book first. It was called "Where the Red Fern Grows." It's supposedly a true story of this back in the 20s, I guess it was, Depressions. This young boy wanted coon dogs so bad, and he lived in Arkansas in the mountains and along the river where he always saw, guides of hunters and fishermen, and he loved to see them coon hunt and everything. He loved to have the coon dogs. Well, they couldn't afford it. Well, he, for a year or two, uh, caught bait and stuff and sold to the fishermen, saved his money, because he had found an article in an outdoor book about red-bone coonhounds to buy. Well, his granddad owned the local general store, and he confided in his granddad to, as he got the money up, to order them for him. Well, he did. Well, they come from, I forget how many states up. Well, they were shipped to a local town, but they couldn't ship them any further for a few days. So this little boy packed up his stuff, headed out one night, find them. He brought them back, 2 red-bone pups, trained them to hunt, coon hunt and everything. One was a male and one was a female. He named the boy Dan and the girl Little Ann. Well, of course, as the dog got older, he called him Old Ann. Well, they coon hunted and was the best coon dogs around, won all trials and everything. Well, one night a cougar actually killed Old Dan. Well, he buried him, and then little Ann, she just mourned herself to death, so they buried both of them. Well, and side by side. Well, they finally decided to move closer into town for a job, this, that, and the other. Well, and he went to say goodbye to them before they left, and in between the 2 graves, a red fern grew. And the Indians used to say that the red fern would grow around great and lovable things.
Oh.
So that's, of course, that dog ain't a red bone, but it's still around. But I read the book when I was in elementary school, and then they finally made a movie of it.
You remember that far back?
Oh, God, yeah. But anyway, yeah. And see, I used to raise red bones and hunt them, and black and tans and hunt them. So when she got that one, I said, we're going to make a coon dog out of that thing.
Yeah, I keep telling him we're going to teach. He's got to learn to climb a tree.
Hey, he might can. He may can. So,
all right,
Scott.
Scott.
That's why I named it that.
I heard part of her telling somebody something, and then it was somebody and something or another dog and something, and I was like, now it's killing me to find out, and I got to call you and ask you.
Well, hey, look up on the internet or whatever where the red fern grows.
All right, Peggy, she guessed it right before we even called you. That's what it was.
Okay, so she's heard of it.
So she's heard of it.
Yeah, so good deal.
All right. Did the kids get all the planting done?
Well, most of it until they start getting lazy. So they're at home now playing, and then I was supposed to call Peter Jack to come get me, and then we got to take them home.
Nah.
I'm watering stuff over here that's sort of been neglected.
Yeah.
As I ain't watering some of the trees, because it's supposed to rain tomorrow night or something.
Yeah. All right. We'll holler at you later.
See you, brother.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Peggy wins. Now, when I can't remember the story, I can ask Peggy. You'll have to watch it now. I'll have to watch it now. It don't even sound familiar to me. Next week, huh? Huh. Well, how about that? Well, since we got Grounds Family Farm on here, are you going to change till Thursdays or leave it at Fridays? I know you said something last time about you might change it. Oh, come on now. I probably was. And I might start, if I find it and start watching it, I might go, oh, I've seen this before. But right now, I just bringing nothing, no memory of it at all. And but you got to remember, I left the country and ended up in the city, and they didn't talk about coon dogs in the city. I don't think they even knew what a coon dog was in the city. I talked about things. I talked about things when I got there. I quit talking about because people looked at me like I lost my mind. Go to visit somebody. Went to visit somebody. We went to uh, uh, we went to visit somebody in the neighborhood. Can't remember. And I asked where the outhouse was. Yeah, they looked at me like I lost my mind. Do I? Do I? Do I? Tom Sawyer. Don't I mean I don't know if I can remember the stories very well. I remember some of the some of the adventures. All the flies. I don't remember. That sounds familiar, but I don't remember. Let's see. Uh, algebra. Oh, I remember Roman numerals. My. No, I don't, Peggy. I don't. I'm thinking of something, but I don't think that was that. Similar story. Oh yeah, Kill a Mockingbird. Yeah, and Shakespeare. I went to when I went over to the Audubon here back a few weeks ago, and yeah, Romeo and Juliet. Uh, I went into. I might have told y'all about this. I went into Kentucky Fried Chicken there, and mainly to get something to drink. But when I got in there, I decided I'd get me some, go ahead and get me something to eat. And the young man in there, I said, You're not old enough to remember the Colonel, are you? See, I remember the Colonel. I met the Colonel a few times. Uh, he used to come. He used to come there where I lived at one of his uh, one of his restaurants. He's like, I know I'm not that old. And I'm like, I don't like the way he said that. I'm trying to think of something. Well, everybody knows the Colonel passed away in the 80s. I hope they do anyway. But yeah, yeah. Well, now you know what? I knew a young man that uh I was contracting and hauling car shows and medical shows around the country. And oh boy, the main office we run out of that we contracted with was out of in New Jersey. And we were usually when they'd have a lot of trucks they'd have to come up with haul these car shows because usually somebody's one vehicle be hauling one Ford products, one be hauling Volkswagen products, and so on. To these car shows and stuff. And we were going to one out west, and we'd run into, some of us leave together, and then we'd run into some more of them, and some of them would contact somebody else and say, "Well, we'll wait for you when y'all get here. Wake me up. I'm a day ahead of you or something like that. I'll wait here." And but one of these boys I met that was one of them trips. Uh, his name was Ronald McDonald Jr. And he says, let's go over here to McDonald's and get us some hamburgers. he went he went in and ordered a bunch of hamburgers and flipped out his ID and showed them he was Ronald McDonald Jr. They gave him his hamburgers. He, we just wanted, I mean, I couldn't believe it, but they gave us everything. I remember. I Kill a Mockingbird. Yeah, Ronald McDonald Jr. One time I was getting my boots polished at a truck stop, and I'm sitting up there on the big stand, with my foot propped up. These two guys come up. Uh, this guy, he says, I want to be next. Uh, he says, would you have him page me when you're finished with him, when you're getting ready about finished with him? And she goes, yeah, I'm just getting started, so it's going to be about 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Okay. All right. Well, he says, just page me. Uh, and he told her his name was Ham. And another guy right behind him, he looked at her and he said, the girl was polishing the boots, and said, well, if my name is Bacon, will I get a free shoe shine? And she laughed at him, and his name was Bacon. We had a guy named Ham and a guy named Bacon. And I went to an investment thing one time up in Richmond, Virginia, and this guy he was wanting me to meet these people, trying to get me to invest in something. And he wanted me to meet them. So I went up there and everything. And I didn't know who they were, and I had never met them. Nothing, I just knew the name of their what they were naming their business, what they were naming their product, what it was. Uh, I got there and I'm walking around, and it's at the stadium, and you had the inner part of the stadium, and then you had these doors that went out all around the stadium, and they had it was on the bottom level. They You walked out, and the hallway went all the way around the place. And the guy, he come in there, he found me, and he goes, "Come on, I want you to meet them. I just talked to them. They're right in here. They're set up right over here." He says, and he took me in there. Now they had these three little kids, and his wife and him, and he walked me up to them, and he introduced me. He says, uh, "This is the gentleman I was telling y'all about. This is Mr. Herndon right here. Uh, Mr. Herndon, I want you to meet Mr. Pig, Mrs. Pig, and this is their three little pigs." He never thought about how he said that. And I got this pain in my chest. I'm shaking their hand. "How y'all doing? Good to meet you." Going all that. And but this pain in my chest was holding back from busting out laughing at him. This is Mr. Pig, Mrs. Pig, and this is the three little pigs. And I was like, "Good to meet you. How you doing? Nice to meet you too." Well, I I literally had to come up with an excuse to leave. I'll be back in a little bit. I've got to go look for somebody or something. I don't remember what I said, but I had to leave because I had to go out in that hallway and let loose. I was holding it all in. Uh, no, I'm just I'm just glad they wasn't. I'm just glad they wasn't into pork products. That's all I'm happy about. And yeah, I wouldn't have known how to deal with it. It probably was. Yeah, I mean, if there's other ones I can't remember right now, but there's been a lot of strange names and things that people's names that you wouldn't think somebody would name somebody. But there is a pig family out there, and I by now their little pigs have done growed up and had their own little pigs. I'm sure by now and all that kind of stuff. But I know uh, one of their three little pigs was a little girl, and I know she had to be happy to get old enough to get married and change her name. 'Cause kids will. I guarantee you, those kids suffered from that name. It was spelt pig. It was because I know a crisp pig. It's not pig, it's pigs, which people get confused all the time. But yeah, yeah. That's. I mean, it's It's there's some names out there that would just you just wouldn't believe somebody named somebody. Did Grounds Family Farm ever? They never replied, did they? They're not paying attention. But well, I didn't invest in their little invention because in fact, I never heard nothing come of it. So I didn't lose nothing there. I'll never forget my Uncle Bob. He made he come up with this invention he called the Bobo, and he even had he had applied for a patent, and he'd sent it off, and he'd had to have one made as a model, and what and and you were PSI, your brother was DW. And that he sent off for that patent, and while he was waiting on the patent to come back to see if he got it or not, uh, he was sitting and watching TV. He had about I don't know, he had about 10 of these things made, and they turned out to be famous, but they wasn't his. Somebody had already invented it in another country, and they were selling them in the U.S. And his heart sunk. He'd done invested on having some made and all that stuff. I was like, And you know what it was? Remember those things on the string with the two balls in the clacker? I think they called it the clacker. If he had got the patent on that, it'd been called the Bobo. Hey, Neil. And Neil has turned over and somebody's on, he says. Let me wake up here. Mm. I lost count myself. I actually got pretty good at them. And the same way with Donkin yo-yos. Of course, we were older then when they came out, but I still like to play with that butterfly. Uh, my little cousin had the one called the butterfly, and I kidnapped that thing. I said, I could make it walk the dog, walk the straight wire, all that crazy stuff. You know, Neil's. Was you snoring, Neil? Well, even though he didn't get the patent on it, and even though it had already been invented, he had no idea. And it was invented in another country, actually. And he actually invented it. He just never had seen it before. Uh, just somebody else invented it too, and beat him to the draw. Yeah, somebody was talking about you, Neil. That's why you realized we were on. Yeah, uh, but I like that. Yeah. I got to hold that butterfly yo-yo. I'd go crazy with it. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad we can't blame that on my Uncle Bob then, because he didn't put them on the market. He almost did. If he had, I'd been going. I'm so sorry, my Uncle Bob invented that, and you got hurt. Yeah, they didn't. They didn't last long, but somebody got rich off of them. Yeah. And a lot of them sold. They sold a lot of them. Broke everything it hit. Yeah, yeah. I was when the Pet Rock come out. I was at that. I was at that. I was at the age then about who would buy a Pet Rock when you can walk outside and pick one up, shine it up, and make it your pet. If you really wanted a Pet Rock. And what amazed me about the Pet Rock that I noticed, it was a lot of older people buying Pet Rocks. It wasn't for kids neither. I mean, I've seen a lot of rocks that look like crystals and everything else, but some of them Pet Rocks. I remember a store they had these rocks up there wrapped up in these packages, Pet Rocks, and it looks like the rock in the driveway. But people bought them. Couldn't you see it now? Did you have a rough day at work? My back's killing me from bending over picking up rocks as I walked home. God bless, Melinda. Hope you have a wonderful night. Hope you all goes well. Yeah, you had to water your cheetah pet. It's I don't know. They I from what I've seen, they might come up and go by. I'm going to put this on the market. It wouldn't surprise me. If a pet rock, uh, I tell you something else. I that a lot of people bought that wasn't the real thing, and no, they didn't come back to you. And that was the boomerang. I never had a boomerang come back to me unless I threw it straight up. Oh, great. Glad you got something to ease it off a little bit. You just got to get on through it and get over it. Tell it to go away. Yeah. Don't be throwing that thing. It might come back and hit me. It ain't coming back. I've seen a frisbee come back better than a boomerang. God bless Melinda. Take care. I tried throwing it away and it just. Well, at least, even if it don't help any better, she says it helps better, works better. But if it didn't, at least it tastes better. A boomerang was a weapon, and I've never thrown anything that hit somebody that came back to me unless they threw it back at me. Oh, Peggy, what's that? What's that place? What's that called? I've ordered stuff from there before. I ordered some stuff from them again. Yeah, you got, but you know, it's all right, Peggy. You know what you said before you even corrected it. Yeah, I used to do basketball that way. Uh, I heard a bird loud and clear on your end. Yeah, I hear them out there. They're out. I hear them out there. I got the front door open. But I got the screen door closed. There's no reason for them to be at my house. Do you know what it's like to be up some odd hour of the morning, half asleep, staggering around, and trying to duck, keep from getting hit by a bird, and trying to get it to go out the front, go out the door? Yeah. Wait a minute. I heard a bird loud and clear on your end. What are you doing? Where are you at, baby? Are you on this end somewhere? And when I, I was trying to get that bird out. Then I thought, wait a minute, let me get my camera. Nobody's going to believe this. You're becoming a YouTuber when you think about it, looking for get the camera instead of taking care of business. Neil. The only way I figured that bird come in was I went out on the front porch to turn them floodlights out. Uh, and I didn't close the screen door when I went out there to turn them off, because you have to go out on the porch. And that bird was already on the porch, and it flew into the light. That's the only thing I can figure. Yeah, just check the box, Neil. Now, I just got a thumbs down. How did I get a thumbs down? That wasn't me. I reached right there and touched that. I saw I I saw thumbs down. That's weird. Yeah. Going around saying words, trying to pronounce words that long and saying it will make people think you might be stuttering or something. Yeah, yeah, I would say so. You see it being on a spelling bee. Hey, you remember having half the class gets on one side of the room and the other half gets on the other side, and you have a spelling bee. I won the spelling bee one time. One time. Everybody was out sick but me. what was bad was when half the class was fourth graders and the other half was fifth graders. They had a year up on us. You know what I'm saying? But we still beat them sometimes. You know, last time no, it wasn't. uh, but couldn't you? But yeah, people get eliminated. Had to sit down at your desk. That would be so. That was so embarrassing. Doggone it! Missed that word. So I would always study my spelling words because I didn't want to sit down. But we had one once a week. I can still remember. It's time. Y'all need to go to bed. I can't go to bed. I'm still learning my spelling words. Ask them to me again. I like them too as long as I didn't sit down. 3B Homestead. Well, welcome. How you doing today? Been baking a cake. No. I hope you didn't miss out putting anything in the cake. It's laid back Saturday. I'm not doing nothing all weekend. I was sitting here trying to stay awake. I know they don't. I know they need to have spell. That was one of the best ways to learn to spell. Was if you didn't want to have to be, if you had an attitude, if you missed a word, you had to sit down. You didn't want to be the first person to sit down. Because they can buzz. They're trying to. They're still trying to sound the word out. Neil, buzz, ba ba ba. I don't know. I've seen it spelled both ways. Yep, baking a cake. What kind of cake are we making? Is it a German chocolate cake? Don't tell me that, because I'd have to. Gas is too expensive for me to travel right now. Oh well. Hey, personally, I'm gonna have to say it helped me learn to spell better. Learn to spell the words because I didn't want to have to sit down. I wanted to win. If you had to sit down, that means you got a word wrong. That don't mean you got them all. Would have got them all wrong. And then again, it might have meant you didn't study because you only had 10 to 15 to 20 words to memorize. Just a vanilla cake, a buttercream icing, and chocolate cake. Hmm. Yeah, you know how to make a sponge cake? Neil will have fun with that one now. I don't know, Neil. I don't, I didn't ever have a problem speaking. I would I played when I was a little fella. I played Little Boy Blue in the play, and I had no problem speaking. I always had a loud mouth. I wasn't a shy kid neither. I participated as a prosecutor attorney in a mock trial. You know uh, the colleges. You go to law school, and now I didn't go to law school, but uh, uh, they uh, they have to do mock trials and all that stuff. Just for the practice. And somebody says something, and I said I'll be the prosecutor, and I ended up being I was the prosecutor. Annoying. Some student, he it was on a theft case, and uh, they had witnesses and everything, and I had to. I mean, it was pretty well scripted, it's for the most part, you know, about who the witnesses were and stuff, and they get up, you call your witness, and tell you who the witnesses were. Uh, and call the witness up and go, have them to state their name and all that stuff, just like it was if it was a real trial. And yeah, that the judge was actually a real judge, uh, who he worked with us. You know, he taught this class, I reckon, and you couldn't lead your witness. He but you could get away with a lot if you're if you're if you wasn't if somebody didn't stop you. You know, if they didn't object to it, you could sneak something in once in a while and get away with it. But you know, it was a felony theft charge that when I was prosecuting. Yeah. Well, but when I left there, somebody was trying to get me to law school. I got a lot of compliments on that day. A lot of people going for somebody just to walk in and pick it up and take off with it like that. You know. Hello, Grandpa James. Yes, I did. I had fun with it, but I didn't. I just I don't know. I'd want to represent people. Uh, I would probably. Uh, I don't know if I was a lawyer, I'd end up probably working for free. I don't know what time you get up. Yeah. Like what I say. I'm hearing something outside. I don't want to get up. So I'm looking at the cameras. Oh, it's Scott. Texas Sam. That does anybody know what Texas Sam was talking about? Yeah, they been a lot of watering going on around here. Believe it or not, with all the rain, we still have to water the plants. Some of them are in the greenhouse, some are under the shed, which don't get no rain at all. And then the ones that are getting rain don't get enough rain in the pots. Texas is pouring. That's what Melinda lives in Texas, and she said it was raining there. And so we're supposed to get it. We're supposed to have rain tomorrow again. We had rain yesterday. Yeah, the person in the question. You in Dallas? Yeah. Well, that's where Daniel's in Fort Worth, and his mom just flew back here the other day out of the Dallas Fort Worth airport up there. No, not really, Peggy. We don't. Well, we don't really need to catch it. Oh, did I miss something? I'm sitting here half asleep. I reckon if I missed something, Neil, he was following up on your joke. Yeah, we just get water from the creek if we have to. We've got a water line running from the creek from all the way up, just short of the barn, on the south end of the property, the opposite end from the barn, uh, opposite end from the front of the barn, and sprinklers that run off of it to every row throughout the garden and in the high tunnel. Yeah, we do catch rain up at the store. Uh, some of the smaller stuff that just needs wetting, and they use a bucket and pours water and pour the water on them instead of dragging the hose and around when it's just say just 3 shells of stuff there needs a little water, stuff like that. Or they find one somebody didn't water that they missed. Happens quite often. You just go dip it out of that jug, out of that 55-gallon barrel. Well, yeah, that must have been Kevin because he fell asleep on us. He never did answer my question if they were gonna this week. They were gonna go live on a Thursday. He's a night owl, so he probably fell asleep. Oh, uh-oh. I count another thumbs down. I don't know what I'm doing to get the thumbs down. I want thumbs up. Yeah. Uh, my hand just on my head shouldn't do it. Thumb bubbles again. Let's see if it picks up that. It picked that up when I give a thumbs down just now on my head. Maybe it is. Huh. All right, let's be nice. Well, it must be my hand. Has to be. Uh, all right, Neil. I've got this friend on Facebook who lives in Texas, and she puts. She, I told my I told my doctor it was her fault when I gained weight. because she puts up these pictures of food. Um, she posts them on From the Grill, and I'm going to tell you, she can make food look so good. Her name is Rita Ann Sanders Garcia, and I mean, if you're just looking at it, I think I gained weight just looking at her, just looking at some of the stuff she cooks. I told her one time, I sent her a message and told her, I said, if the house next to you ever comes available, let me know. I'm gonna buy it. Uh, but she makes food look not just appetizing, but eye appealing. I mean, she knows how to put it on the plate to make you go, wow. And she's got a lot of problems with her wrist. She's had a lot of surgeries on her wrist, on her arm, and stuff. And but she ain't, and she has cut herself, seriously cut herself with some knives on her hand. But she keeps on cooking. As soon as she's able to, she's back at it. Some of it is almost like somebody drawed the picture. I told her she could put her shoes under my kitchen table anytime she wanted to come and cook. She can be barefoot and cook all she wants. The woman has got the taste as good as it looks. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Yeah. I hadn't really, I hadn't really had a chance to uh, uh, look at any channels today. I've been too lazy. Yeah. I remember that saying. I can still, who used to always say that? Was that Junior? Or Kenny? That was Kenny. Doggone it. Kenny used to always say, every time he come down to the house, my Uncle Kenny, he'd ask my papa, he'd go, "Where's Ma?" She's in there cooking. He'd sit down on the porch there. Good woman. Good woman. They had a chair down there for him to sit on. You probably heard me talk. I probably talked about him before. He was a huge man. He'd break furniture and stuff like that. He was so big. Uh, you know, that reminds me. This boy went to work for. It's been a few years ago. He went to work for Amazon in the warehouse, and his job was to put returns back up and or stuff that didn't get shipped or canceled or whatever it was. But he had this cart he rolled around, and the way it made it sound to me was the system was set up to where you scan it in and push wherever you put it, whatever it is. Like if you put it on aisle 4, tier 3, or something like that of that nature, you would punch that in 4 T3, and when they pulled it up on the computer to see if they had one to pick it to ship it out, they would be able to go right to it. Well, his job was to put it on the shelf, put stuff on the shelf, and he had his cart full of stuff. And the only thing you had to do was whatever you were putting on a shelf, there had to be a space big enough to put it in, right? And everybody was happy he got a job, and it paid pretty good for him. And we didn't think he was ever going to work. And we were right. Uh, he went and pushed the cart around till lunchtime, went on lunch break, come back from lunch, and 2 hours after lunch, somebody went and told him to come up front, go up to the front and leave his cart here. He went up there, and that all they wanted uh, to know was why he was still working on the same cart. And he said that he couldn't find no place to put this one box uh, off the cart. He was looking for a place to put this big box. He passed all the holes that he could have put something in because he was focusing just on that one box. And they fired him. He lost his job after going to the orientation and all that kind of stuff. And he worked with somebody. They took him around. Uh, yeah, After they showed him his job, they turned him loose and he couldn't even do it. I mean, serious? I'm like, all you had to do was scan a barcode, beep, 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 and put the box there. And it was going to pay him $21 an hour. Not bad for somebody that didn't know how to work. No. We were desperate to find him. Well, he had 4 kids. Everybody's trying to get this man to work. Yeah, I got to hold my head down. I can't do this one that way. I can't bring this one up and put it behind my head. I could, but I was going to be in a lot of pain doing it. But I can do this one. I need me a pillow. Did what are they doing out there? I must be putting windows up on the automobiles out there. Keep hearing all these doors open and closing. Well, Peggy, go ahead and tell us the truth. How many peppers you got now? Oh, I know Peggy wasn't here when I first started talking. Guess what, Peggy? I got some blooms. Melinda was the only one here when I was telling her. I got some blooms. I got some, I know. I walked over there and there was these blooms. I'm like, oh, pretty soon I'll be able to go. I got the jalapeno peppers. I got jalapeno peppers, Peggy, and they bigger than yours. Now if it just don't rain so hard that it knocks them all off. No, I just got I think 2 or 3 blooms on one plant. Yeah. I had, I had to tell Tank, you lay right here and protect these peppers. If you see a woman with a pair of clippers coming by, you get her. Oh, he's back Saturday. And I told you the other day, didn't I, Neil, what she did to me? I had her send me pictures, a few times of her peppers, and she sent me pictures bragging on her peppers. And the other day, I opened up my email, and it says, "Hey, guess what?" Yeah, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, here it goes." Her peppers are getting longer, or she's got more peppers. And I click on it, and it had nothing to do with gardening. How about a chicken? They still sell them. At least I feel like they do. Didn't I see one not long ago? I think the chia pets were what was that in the 70s or 80s? 70s, I think. So when they come out was real big, real popular. Yeah, I think it was in the 70s. A lot happened. A lot happened in this country in the 70s. Sure did. Some of it was good. Some of it was bad. Oh, yeah, I, I was selling gas. hmm they would only allow us to sell at one of the times. They would only allow us to sell. You could have 20,000 gallons of gas, but you wasn't allowed to sell but so much a day. And another one they had before that was even and odd on license plates. But I guess they decided it was just easier to say, okay, you can only sell so many gallons a day. So you had to cut the line off. And boy, people would be upset. Oh, boy, would they be upset. And we sort of we put a sign. We finally made a sign and hang it on the bumper of a car. Yeah, yeah. I sold gas for 19 cents a gallon. That's the cheapest I can remember ever selling gas was at 19 cents. I can remember 20 cents, but I think 19 was the cheapest I ever sold it. And I had it, uh, this little girl, little old bitty old gal, she drove a little Volkswagen Bug. She'd come in and go, "Can I get 50 cents worth?" You get 75 cents worth. I remember when a dollar was a dollar and it meant something. It meant something so much that when you give somebody $1 worth of gas, gonna come back and pay you Friday, and you never see them again because they didn't ever want to pay you that dollar. Yeah. But you could protest the gas prices and get them down with it and still buy gas. All you have to do is get enough people that would not buy gas on certain days. 3 days out of the week, get everybody to buy the gas the day before or whatever, but skip 3 days a week and don't nobody buy no gas nowhere. Or even in a town, just in a town itself, it would affect the price. And yeah, whatever how they want to do it, carpool, whatever. But just don't buy no gas 3 days out of the week. That's all it takes. And when them gas pumps are set idle for 3 days, and not 3 days in a row, just 3 days out of the week, no gas sales. Whoa. I mean, they could have the best sale day 2 days before or whatever, but yeah, you mess up a day, you mess up a lot. I know you do, Neil, but that ain't the way they calculate it. If you were the only one buying gas and you bought just enough every day to get where you were going, they would everything's good. But if all of a sudden you said no, let me go ahead and put enough in to last me all week, and you didn't buy none all week, you kill them. Yeah, yeah. Protesting as far as getting out and all that usually don't affect a whole lot. You got to hit them. You got to hit them where it hurts. It's kind of like rental properties. If it ain't got nobody in it, it's hurting. Uh, the way they calculate it though is daily. That's why the prices can change so quick. See, it's just like the truck drivers, uh, owner operators would talk about going on strike, and I lived through a few trucker strikes too. But instead of going on strike, everybody set their price level at a ridiculous point, and nobody give in and go hauling cheap freight. Solve the problem right there. They would pay it, and that would solve the problem. Martha. But yeah, just set the price and everybody just stick together and stay with it. But no, You got somebody over there going, I can still make money. I can still make a few dollars instead of making a decent living. And they'll grab that freight. They'll drop the price. But I can remember uh, if you hauled something for under $1, you could still make money. $1 a mile. You could still make money. But I wouldn't have never back then hauled anything for under $1. I parked my truck first, and I wouldn't normally haul anything for $1 unless it was a return load to get me back or get me to the area that I want to be in, to get better pay freight. I just soon deadhead at my own expense and go on and do it. Let their freight sit there. They'll pay $1 to somebody. Well, it did bring it down. Well, one time they said they had a gas shortage, and you could get on a boat and go out on the East Coast. You could get on a boat and go out there. They had a certain place, what they couldn't come past in order to say you received it, even if it wasn't on, hadn't made it to dock yet. And they'd hold those boats out there and just set them out there. And those big ships loaded down with fuel. There wasn't no shortage. It was sitting right out there in the water. But it's a daily thing. And if you mess up 2 or 3 days out of the week, mess their rotation up, it'll make a difference. Right here in Rock Springs, right here where I live at, it's 10. I can buy fuel 10 cents cheaper 6 miles away to the north. Uh, and that's all because of the little guy across the road keeps raising his price up here in town. Now we got 3 gas stations right here in our little between red light to red light. And you can stand in the street and see all 3 of them. And they base their price on him. If he goes down, they go down. If he goes up, they go up. And he keeps them busy. He goes up and he goes up and he goes down. And I've done figured him out. It's a little Indian store. He goes up on the weekends and he goes down during the week. So all you got to do is watch him, and you know what the price of gas is going to be at the other gas stations. Ed Kirkpatrick posted where he had a bad storm come in coming in. Put a video. It must have been I wonder if that was yesterday. That's probably yesterday. Yeah, yeah. I mean, he's got a. I mean, he's got the right idea. But what you do is you just wait till Wednesday to buy your gas. That's usually where you're gonna find it. The cheapest time of the if you're gonna buy it around right here, that's the cheapest time to buy it. And then just if you wait till Friday, you're gonna pay another dime more, or a nickel more, or something like that. I hope not, neither. Uh, yeah. That's Ed. I forget what month they said. Ed's got a birthday coming up pretty soon. It feels funny being online as early as I came on, but it kept me awake. And I was really surprised y'all made the 26th. Yeah. Uh, yeah. Well, who was talking about it? Now somebody's out there blowing the horn. Oh, Scott's wanting to go. I guarantee you, I can tell you what's going on. Scott's ready to go somewhere, and he's sitting in the truck waiting. They start blowing the horn. Petra's still in the house, probably fixing her something to eat to take with her. Yeah, he said something about it the other day or last night. Somewhere here in the U.S. it's $7 or something. Has to be out west. I think it's 6 something in the L.A. area right now. How much is gas today in Los Angeles, California?
I found this on the web.
No, you didn't answer my question. How much is gas in Los Angeles, California today?
Here's what I found.
$6.59. And that's one of the cheapest. And that's Chinatown gas station on North Hill Street in Los Angeles, California. Oh no, here's one cheaper. It's 5 something. That's what I thought. 5 something is your average. I know where this is right here. Sinclair, the cheapest place anywhere in LA. Sinclair on Alameda Street in Los Angeles, $4.98. Everybody else is $5.99, $5.49, $5.87, $5.59, $5.19, $5.55. Sheesh. Yeah. I wonder if that under $5 there is half water. Yeah, if they were to take California taxes are high on gas and propane and diesel, anything like that. I mean, they've got all these chemicals they say they have to put in the gas so it'll burn cleaner and cleaner and cleaner. But I want to tell you right now, back in the day when I went to California, I could put their diesel fuel in my truck and make it blow black smoke just like I could anywhere else. So it has to be up towards the Bay Area. It's $7 or something, somewhere up there. I like to look at that kind of stuff. How much is gas today in San Francisco?
I found this on the web.
This is the top 10 best now, cheapest. Oh, they're cheaper up there. I wonder what they were talking about. You know what? I think that was yeah. They ain't a lot cheaper, but they're under $5. $4.89. Fremont's got the cheapest gas up through there, $4.34. Everybody else is $4.79 or $4.80 something, all the way up through there. Hmm. Yeah, they could. If somebody wanted to get them a truck, put them a big tank in it, in the back of it, and it could be, you know, take a few 100 gallons at a time, and just have it where it's level with the bed, where nobody wouldn't be drawing attention, sticking all up in the air, and have a pump drop it down the hole where they deliver the gas. Nothing but a padlock. Snap the padlock and go out for it. Pump a few 100 gallons, pull your hose out, and go on down the road. Gas prices will go down just a month or two before, probably, the election. And then they go back up. Yeah. Well, unfortunately, we don't have no bus transportation around here. If you catch a bus around here, you have to go all the way to Chattanooga, and that's going to be on a Greyhound leaving town. Chattanooga has a bus system. I think it's called the Carter bus system. You can ride if you lived in a city. You can ride around town. Well, that's still cheap. If I had one, where I could walk down to the corner or a block over or something like that, and we could ride a bus to Chattanooga, I'd probably ride it. If it went, if I could get there and get back. Even owning a car, I'd still do it. I mean, why not? If I could walk down the end of the driveway, jump on a bus. Now we do have a Walker County bus that takes uh, the people who can't drive and stuff like that, or take them to their doctor's appointments and stuff like that. But they charge them ridiculous prices. And somebody said that to go to from the come drive by and pick you up and take you down to Lafayette costs you like $15. I thought, wait a minute, this is supposed to be to help these people, not to rob them. And the taxpayers bought the vans that they use. It ain't really a bus; it's one of them little short vans. Uh, Probably seats 15, 15 passenger. But the taxpayers bought the vehicles. It's not like they're losing anything. Yeah, yeah, 20 some dollars, under $30. But then to get from Atlanta to catch the bus that they got that shuttle bus that'll run you. It only goes to Chattanooga. Uh, she paid $28 or I think some change like $29 to fly, but it cost her $55 to get from Atlanta to Chattanooga, where we had to drop her car off for her to come. Because it's the only they don't make no stops in between that uh, Zoom or whatever they call it. So she could have flown for just a few more dollars. She could have flown. She could have flown twice to Dallas. What it cost her just to ride from Atlanta. Yeah. But to go to Atlanta to pick her up and back, you got to figure your time, uh, your your vehicle, fighting traffic, the gas. You spend overall it'd be it's cheap to take $55 to come home from down there. But and it cost even you. She flew from there to here for under $30, but it cost her 100 and something to fly from Atlanta to Chattanooga. Now, does that make any sense? And because we checked on just catch a flight on into Chattanooga. She took the $55 ride. Before she paid $100 some to ride, she'd walk home. I can't see her spending $100 some after just spending less than 30 and flying 800 miles. I agree with you, Neil. I wish we had something like that was that convenient. The closest thing to that being that convenient is walking the over 2 mile walk. Well, about a mile and a half, and wait for the train to come by, the freight cars to come by, and jump on one of them and ride it on down towards town. Some guy was talking about some fellow that died. That I forget what they called him, but he videoed. Uh, he rode the train. He's a hobo. He jumped trains all the time, and he made videos of it. And they said he finally got him a little piece of money together and bought someplace for him to settle down. And then they found him. He had drowned it, I think, in his own pond or something. Yeah. Well, when she told me she bought this plane ticket for $29, I said, "You got to bring a can of fuel with you or something?" I think it was maybe it was. I might be wrong. I think the name of the uh, plane was Spirit or something like that. Yeah. Now you just get to sit wherever they put you. Now, if you wanted to schedule a certain seat, you had to pay more to have to, to have an assigned seat before the flight. But just to get on and they'll tell you sit there for the next hour and a half. Wow. 80%. Yeah, I don't either. I used to. I I never had no desire to jump out of a plane till they pushed me out. After that, after that, I was ready to fly. I was ready to do it again. Yeah, it was too. But Neil, have you ever bungee jumped? Or jumped out of a perfectly fine airplane? Hmm. That's not bad. I would. I can't wait till you come back and tell us about the concert. Uh, One good jump. You want to do another. If it's a bad jump, you'll never do another. My sweetheart just drove 4 miles and got up the speed of 60 mile an hour to get there. Oh, I have so I used to have so much fun with bungee jump. Yeah, I'd act like I was scared to death, and then I'd act like I'm going to turn around and say something to somebody and go, "Oh," and fall off. Yeah. No, let me see where she's at. She might be home now. Yep. Oh no, she's moving again. She's in her neighborhood. Uh, I sure do. Hey, I tell you exactly where she's at. I can tell you if she's walking or driving. Yep, that's 360. Neil. Life 360. Yeah, I'm supposed to look at Brooklyn's car tomorrow. Somebody just got out of jail, and she thinks they've put a tracker on her car. Yeah. Uh, and she wants to see if we can find a tracker on it. So we're going to check it for her tomorrow. $140 an hour. Yep. I text her all the time when she goes down to North Carolina. I go, get out of the left lane. Way down the left lane. Yeah, but we both agree to have this app, Peggy. I mean, uh, somehow or another, let me tell you, here, it's been, well, it's been since Peter was gone. So with it, sometime or another in the past 7 weeks, somehow or another, I turned mine off where she couldn't track me. I still had the app. I still had it. I still saw her, but I didn't know she wasn't seeing me. I was still on there. When I pulled it up to look at hers, I still see my picture where I was at. And one night, she had an attitude about it. Asked me if I was, what was I up to? Oh, it was on a plane. Okay. I didn't know if it was really going that fast because I've driven a car that fast. And believe me, you think you're on a plane. You're right. Exactly right, Neil. Well, I open it up all the time, see what she's at. She'll tell me, where she's going, and if she don't leave there by a certain time, she wants me to call her. But yeah, it says she completed a 4 mile drive. Her top speed was 60 miles an hour. Let's see. But I get to pushing buttons, and I must have turned it. I said I didn't turn it off. Uh, See, she's not. She's at home now. She's not on the move or anything. And, sometimes it does. I was messing with Peter. I told Peter, I said, you know, I, I still, I'm still thinking about this pretty hard. I said, she goes, what? I said, well, we took your car to Chattanooga and dropped it off so you'd have something to drive. But when we got back and got home, you've been gone 7 weeks. And for the first time we come through the gate, Scott wanted to put the padlock on it. I still ain't figured that out. There is no dirt on me. So Mm. There's nothing she could tell you. Yeah. That's not a bad idea. I know you are, Peggy. But I, yeah, I don't think there's anything she could tell you. Other than I drive too slow. She won't let me drive. She won't. I said, look, I don't feel right about you driving. Yeah, but I want to get there today, she said. Uh, she don't do YouTube. Yeah, she's she is busy always. Yes, as I wasn't. If it's if she's not doing something, if she's not doing something with the church, it's with the daycare, uh, or the rental properties, or something. Oh, I mean, she stays busy. Yeah. The only thing, she really don't even do Facebook. She does post. Uh, she does post. Uh, what do you call it? The church program. Other than other than rats. Uh oh. There's Christina. Christina. You back up in Nashville again? Let me see here. Well, I'm trying to figure out because I'm on StreamYard. Oh, there we go. I'm trying to. Well, I don't forget how to do it. There you go, Christina. Anybody that wants to join, I think that's it. That's the link. Lordy on. She probably don't know how. She probably done forgot. You want to hear some squeaky noises? One minute she's in Nashville, one minute she's in Cleveland, Tennessee, and they're opposite directions from Chattanooga. Yeah, she was doing okay. He's doing okay. She posted a video today. Yeah, she's back up there visiting the hospital. They were in Cleveland cleaning the stalls out on the barn up in Cleveland. It was that deep. And cleaning out some well past due barn stalls, it looked like to me. Putting in new shavings and all that stuff. Yeah. Or when you sink knee deep, one of the two. Yeah. As long as it ain't me. We're gonna have to do something. We're gonna have to, we don't have nothing but uh, chickens running around the barn, but we put so much shavings down that different times that it's done. It ain't wasn't that long ago. Scott cleaned it out, but it's got to be done again now. Got two more guinea eggs last night. Two more. Two more. She said she wanted to come on. Yeah. That's yeah. We're gonna have to. I told. I was telling Scott, we need to shovel out from under the rabbit cages. That's good fertilizer, Goes to the garden. Well, look at that. Meg's little house in the country. Just got back. Oh no. Already? Finished already? No, she needs some more stuff done over there. Another weekend. One more weekend. Yeah. Now there is. No, that what was that movie? That bed floated up. You know that girl was on the bed, raised up and everything. Yeah, it's a raised bed. Meg, we ain't doing much here, but I'm glad you got your mama's done. But now you need to, if you don't gotta go back and do no more there, you need to take this week and this coming weekend off and not do nothing. That way we can get ahead of her more. You know, I I've been on for a long time now. Don't seem like it, but I have. I'll be working on a video tonight. Meg, did I ever ask you what you used to edit with? What program? I guess I should say. Uh, uh, that I was trying to think, what do they call it? Well, that ain't what I'm looking for. The Walker Farm fan, all they use is the iPhone app. Yeah. Well, it's really uh I use InShot. It's really easy to use, especially the basics. Uh, and they've got instructions and all that stuff. Well, I've learned how to do a lot of little tricks. I just don't use them. I've made some in-shot videos just to be goofing off, just to see what they would do, or if I could do it and follow their instructions. And yeah, I made some silly ones. iMovie, okay. iMovie's what? That's all. That's all the Walker. That's what they said. That's all they use. Is one on the iPhone here. I started. I found a way to. I found a way to save money. These older people, like Scott, Peter, them old folks. Uh, I want. I want to give them a Christmas present, birthday present, uh, all at once. I'm going to give them a gift certificate that they can bring to me and cash in, and I have it activated for them. Uh, uh, One free pass to the age reversal. So as soon as science figures out how to reverse the age process, I'll take care of them. I'll make sure they get it done. Yeah, Peggy, but then it wouldn't be no use for younger people. We'd be getting it all. Well, wait a minute. We still get it done, even wore out. Younger people still don't do nothing. I ain't gonna say nothing else. I'm gonna leave it alone now. 5 miles? Is that what he said? I can go 5 miles on the water. I sure can on the water in a boat. I could probably float that long too if I had to. Hmm. Well. Wow. That's a pretty good distance. 50 meters. It's 165 feet. I can't even breathe that long without taking a breath. Yeah. Well, my teenage years, I was on the beach all the time. I had a boogie board and I was out there and I was out there. Well, you can take another breath underwater. When you go down, and let the breath out part of the way. That's a long ways to hold your breath. I know I could hold my breath for over a minute. So it depends on how fast you can swim, how far I could get. But I don't. Yeah. Yeah. Neil, you're not underwater. You can breathe, buddy. Sheesh. I couldn't hold my breath 3 minutes. I could probably stay underwater, or used to be able to. I probably maybe for 2 minutes at tops, and that's exhaling after the first minute. Yeah, but not no 3 minutes. 3 minutes. The lifeguard had better already be down there and got me out and brought me back. Oh boy, what did we forget to pick up? Huh? What was it? Come on, Megs, tell us. Uh, well, God bless. Be safe driving down back to town. It's kind of late. You sure it's something that can't wait till tomorrow? Get it on the way home from church or something. It might be something she needs for church. Well, it said you did. Yeah, something she had to have for church. Well, we can all just sit here. Just sit here. Look, let's see what they say next. YouTube said anything lately? There you go. As long as the cats eat, that's all that matters. It's that keyboard again. Let's see. We don't have nobody going live tonight, do we? Well, uh, how do I get that back up there? There it is. Wow, since we've been on, I got a new subscriber. Got Martha. KNS says he's broke his tractor. Well, that happens when you don't know how to use one. Yeah. I had to send her one, what was it? Emus or emos, or whatever they call it. Cash app things. You know what's funny to me? And I advertise. I advertise on my shirt, and I wear them all the time for that purpose. But what's funny to me, and usually in Chattanooga or down in Lafayette, but I got some local people who watch who watch my videos, and it's kind of funny. it's it just you don't know what to say. Oh, we were watching some of your videos the other night. Well, thank you. Yeah, it cost me $20 to get the subscriber, and then they started taking me to the cleaners. Then they wanted $10 for a thumbs up, $15 for a comment. I was going broke quick. Actually, pulling my arm over my head like that, it pushes this and relieves more pressure, less pressure on this side. Uh, my left shoulder is my bad shoulder. I would, I would love to be able to put both my arms straight up like that over my head and just stretch. Oh, just stretch. I wouldn't know how to act if I could do that. I know how I would act if I did that now. I'd be going, oh, somebody get me to the hospital quick. I'd have to go in the hospital door with my left arm like this. Oh, somebody get it down for me. Somebody get it down for me. Yeah, we'll go right ahead. Okay. Sometimes I'll sit here and I go, oh, or just tighten up my muscles. Oh, that feels so good. But you never know how much you would enjoy stretching your back and both arms up at the same time. Just stretch your back, as hard as you can stretch. uh, this is we're in the seventh inning. Everybody's got to stretch. Well, it's 9 o'clock. Uh, I've probably beaten my own record of being on here. Yeah, that's a good idea. Take a spoon out there. You ever did that with a straw? Yeah, I need to get ready for tomorrow. Tomorrow. Oh yeah, tomorrow. It's just a few hours away. Yeah. I canceled one of my appointments, Neil, and I went to the one after that. And when I went to the one after that, because I didn't reschedule the one I missed, and when I went to the next one, she was confused. She was like, "Wait a minute, that wasn't." And she kept looking at the paper back and forth. And she go, "Well, what?" She didn't miss me at all. And the only way she knew that I wasn't there was because she was looking through the file. And then she wants to turn around and fuss at me. Well, why didn't you come and see me? That blah 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 blah. And I'm like, maybe because I canceled it. That wouldn't have made sense to come down here after I canceled it. She's on. You just sit right there. You got to quit doing that. She didn't miss me for 6 months. Now, she could have fussed at me if she wanted to, if, and I wouldn't have said nothing much about it, if when I canceled it, I'd been getting these phone calls. You need to come in. You can't be canceling your appointments. You got to come in. You need to schedule it for this week sometime. I never heard nothing. 6 months later, when I went in, then she wants to fuss at me. Exactly. Yeah, they make my appointments automatic, whether I'm sick or not. If I call and make an appointment, that's what bothers me. Now, in between, if I call and say I need to see the doctor, uh, okay, it's not your appointment time. You got an appointment next month. Yeah, but I can't wait till next month. I need to see the doctor. And you sound like you're dying anyway. And when you get there, well, we'll see. Come, can you be here at such and such time? We'll squeeze you in. All right, I'll see you then. And then you go in there. You look like you've been run over by a Mack truck. You got a fever of 104. And the girl looks at you. Go, well, hi, Mr. Hearn. How are you today? Okay. I'm serious. I'm not even joking. Yeah. Last time I had to make an appointment to see her, other than my regular appointments, which are pretty much set up. And it's basically because of medicine and stuff. I have to go so often. Uh, if I call in between time, they're like, I show here you have an appointment. Uh, 2 weeks from now or a month from now. Uh-huh. Yeah. I know I do. That has nothing to do with this appointment. But I called one time and I was feeling real bad. And they told me she was on vacation in the Bahamas. I said, "Oh, never mind. I don't want to go to the Bahamas this week." Were you gonna make an appointment with somebody else? No, I don't want to make an appointment with nobody else. Have a good day. Well, we don't want you being homesick if you need to see the doctor. I said, well, that's why I called her, but she's in the Bahamas. I'll see her when she gets back if I'm still here. Yeah. Yeah, they just did that. I haven't used it and I don't even know how it works and I don't even know what happened to the information on it. It's probably somewhere in my email files. But uh where you can do a virtual doctor's appointment. Uh if you don't, if you don't feel like you need to come in, you just need to talk to a doctor or something or do something. I don't know. And then even my doctor, I was at the hospital thing set up. And I'm like, they just want a way to charge. They know you got insurance. They want a way to charge your insurance company. What else? Oh, I thought Meg, I thought you left and went to town. Wow, she must fly. Oh, no, all right. Yeah, well, there's nothing wrong with the second opinion. Yeah, she don't even know what for. She's only 8 to 10 miles. She's not driving, is she? We'll have to we'll, we'll have to do that virtual. Stop that! Stop that! Stop that! I did one back. My doctor uh, didn't want me in there because of my immune system during the 2020 thing, and in fact, they brought me in the back door when I come around. If I did come to go down there, I said, "I come around front." No, we want you to come in the back door. And I thought, I was starting to think, I won't even let me use the front door. She didn't want me around the sick people. And but during 2020, during the uh, crisis uh, that this government put us into, uh, I did a virtual thing on my home computer, and the camera wouldn't work. And her assistant was answering the call to start with, before she come in and sit down and stuff. And I could see them; they couldn't see me. And I said, "Well, I don't know why. It says cameras on, but it's not coming on here neither. I can see you." She said, "Well, we need to see you to make sure it's you." And I heard the doctor in the background. "Well, we don't need to see him. I know that voice anywhere." I'm like, "What you thinks?" It's that grumpy old dude again. Yeah, I got a ticket in Tennessee one time, Neil, from one of those camera things that they set up and take the picture of the back of your car. And even if somebody else is driving your car, you get the ticket. And I guess it was 4 months from the ticket date that I get this thing in the mail. Uh, and and telling me I owed for a speeding ticket. Yeah, she went in and saw me without being able to see me. She said she knew my voice. And she she uh, her assistant apparently wasn't happy with it that she couldn't see me. And she says, "I'm going to ask you a question, and I'm going to write the answer down before you do it, so that she'll know that I know it's you." And I'm like, "Huh? What are you talking about?" She goes, "Okay, the question is, who's your best friend?" And I said, "Jesus." And she says, "See, I told you." I got. We did it without being able to sing. Leaving the dollar store and headed across the street to the grocery store. Yes, she is riding around on the internet. Mm. Have fun at the grocery store. She's got her eye on that guy in the meat market back there that eating Neil. That guy back there in the meat market. And she always leaves her happy because the guy in the produce section, he winks at her. That I'm very careful of going down there to the assisted living because from outside you can push in a code and go in, but nobody can go out without them putting a code in to unlock the door for you to get out. And one time I was trying to get out, and the lady says, "Oh, come on back here now. Well, you're not allowed to go out. You know that, don't you?" Excuse me? I'm leaving. They had people just walk out, start walking down the street, so they had to lock the doors to where they can't get out. Now we used to have one right up here where the driver's license place is, and it's across the road from it there. There's something assistant living, and they had a nice little yard in the back there, and over it was over 6 foot. The fence was over 6 foot tall. I'm gonna say an 8 foot fence, and I don't think I'm exaggerating. And they had this lady who went over the fence. Todd's mother. She come walking down the road on the other side of the road past my car lot, and I looked over and saw her. And I thought, what's she doing? She climbed the fence. I didn't know they brought her home. I didn't know they let her go home, to her home. And I called Todd, got a hold of Angel. And Angel goes, "No, she ain't supposed to be out." He done got them all on there. He done got all of them. He just flew over the cuckoo's nest. It's kind of like, my mom, she was obsessed with TV shows, soap operas. I think we've talked about this before, haven't we? One of her favorites was Barnabas Collins. You could go in, I could go over there and visit her. Go in. You might as well just sit down and wait till it's over with. Because she ain't going to talk to you. She's going to watch, it's on 30 minutes. You might as well just sit there and watch it with her. But she'd watch, and Barnabas would be biting somebody, and my mom would be sitting there looking at that TV, and she'd be rubbing her neck like this. Oh, Barnabas Collins. Yeah, if you walked in when Barnabas was on, might as well sit down. Some of them other ones that she watched, you could get her attention away from it for a little while. God bless Peggy. I'm getting ready to go too. It's after 9 o'clock. I've been on here forever. Neil just kept egging me on. But you take care. Good night. I'm glad we saw you. Good to have you with us again. Instead of over there trying to pull them peppers out of them buds. Neil, I think I more than broke my record. I'm sure I have. 3, what did I say? 3 something. 3? I can't make it out. My eyes are getting blurry. And I got to get ready for tomorrow. So, Neil, God bless, brother. It's good to see you. I hope you have a good rest of the weekend. And I wish I wish you would maybe do some photos, or when you go on that concert. I keep thinking about that. Send them to me or something so I can help you tell your story while you talk about it or something. Share the pictures. But yeah, that would be neat. Put it on a premiere downtown or wherever it is where that where that is in London. Yeah. We love you too, Peggy. God bless. Yeah, and Meg's little house in the country. If anybody stops in here and visit this here crazy whatever we talked about video here or live that we were on, and sits through this whole thing or speeds up and gets to this part, you need to go check her out. I'm telling you. And there you go. Yeah. And I do it like I do Peggy's peppers. I'd like to see some of them pictures too. And then maybe I could put it on a premiere or something, and then you could get on there and tell everybody about the pictures. Even if you're just typing it on there, you don't have to actually come on there. Oh, that ain't the same, Neil. That ain't the same as going. Look where Neil went. Look what Neil's doing. Oh, that type thing. But God bless everybody, and remember Jesus loves you. And we'll talk to you later. Y'all have a blessed night, blessed evening. Yeah, pictures, Neil, pictures. Talk to you later, buddy. Oh. Thank you, Lord.